Hello everyone, my name is Cammie.
I'm Cameron.
And welcome to the Cam Squared podcast. So, since this is our first podcast ever, we want to take a moment to introduce ourselves.
So we both define ourselves as nerds, and we wanted to start this podcast so we could talk about nerd things more freely and maybe connect to other nerds via the internet.
And we're both also young black females, which is a pretty small group that's not very prominent in the nerd community.
Yeah, because most of the people that comment on this stuff are usually white guys, like Mr. Sunday Movies. He usually talks about, he makes videos and stuff on video games and new movies that come out, and he has a podcast called The Weekly Planet, which I highly recommend. But yeah, it's just like that. He only offers one perspective, and
we want to bring something new to the table.
So first we have to define a nerd, and sort of justify why we consider ourselves nerds. So I'd say a nerd is someone who is interested in unpopular media, or someone who's significantly more interested in a topic than most. So you can be a history nerd because you just really love Rome or something and no one cares. Or you can be a comic book nerd because those aren't very popular and you're really interested in them. I'm not a comic book nerd, I'm kind of a fake fan. I like comic book movies and comic book lore, but not the actual comic books.
I would agree. I am also not a huge comic book fan, but I do like movies and TV shows made after comics.
Yeah, I think the draw to comic book movies and the world around them is the sci-fi element, because I love sci-fi. It's my favorite genre of film and literature. So I think that's why I'm so drawn to it.
Speaking of, what are some of your favorite nerdy things?
I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I like the concept of a lot of DC heroes. I don't like the current DC universe. I like the Flash. I'm oh, Super Speed, that's cool. Wonder Woman, cool. I don't like Superman. He has too many powers, so I'm why is anything a challenge to him? Seriously, just freeze someone or laser them in the legs, and then they can't, get you. Yeah, I like Star Wars a lot. Not the prequels, because I just think they're not good films, and they mess up the continuity. So I count the parts that actually enrich the original trilogy as canon, but the other stuff I'm get out. It's Harry Potter. Even though every time I watch it I forget everything that happens. Stranger Things, but that's not really that nerdy, everyone likes it. Game of Thrones, everyone likes that too. Sci-fi in general, like I already said.
I'm pretty much the same, except I would also add The Walking Dead to the list. I'm not really a fan of the most recent seasons, but the first few seasons I was a huge fan.
Still The Walking Dead? You still like it?
I haven't watched it in a year now. I watched the episode where, spoiler alert,
Spoiler.
No, spoiler alert, where Carl dies, because I needed to be there for that, but yeah, after that I didn't watch, and I don't really like the spin-off Fear the Walking Dead at all.
I think I watched 2.5 seasons, and then I realized it was just the same thing on repeat. So I was I'm outie, because it was oh, there's zombies, okay, we gotta go to a place that'll be safe. They stay at the place for a little bit, it's safe, then it gets overrun by zombies because someone's an idiot.
Yeah, it is very
repetitive. Someone's a butt face.
It is.
I don't want to cuss on this podcast. I haven't decided what the rules are about that yet. So
you might have some troubles with me on that one, but okay.
Yeah. I used to like The Walking Dead. Also, those zombies, I feel that crisis would have easily been averted. Those type of zombies, the government would have shut it down.
But it's
and society
everyone who dies becomes a zombie no matter what, unless you get shot in the head or something.
So, but where did all the zombies come from initially? Were they, coming out with graves and stuff?
That's a great question. It doesn't make sense.
It's have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
No.
Okay, well, there's a zombie apocalypse, and the government, people die and stuff, but the government basically gets it under control in a day, and I'm that's what would happen with, modern technology and the modern military.
True.
But
yeah, they never really show where the zombies came from in The Walking Dead. Yeah, they just kind of
the guy that
Everyone's
writes
zombies.
Yeah, the guy that writes the comics, he was like, yeah, I'm never gonna offer an explanation for why there's zombies, because then it would like tip over into sci-fi, and I want it to be like horror. And I was like, you suck. I don't like questions. Yeah. So what's the nerdiest thing you've ever done? I asked you this earlier, and you didn't have an answer.
I still don't have an answer.
Just do the nerdiest thing you've ever done, even if you don't think it's nerdy. Like, it can be a common thing, but it's slightly nerdy.
I mean, I have Star Wars marathons and Marvel marathons like all the time, but I don't think that's really that nerdy. But also, it's not normal to watch like all Star Wars movies in a day or all Marvel
All
movies.
all 18. Because you watched Infinity War 2 that day.
Yeah, so I guess that's the nerdiest thing I've ever done.
Okay, I saw Civil War, like Captain America Civil War, in theaters 3 times. I saw The Force Awakens in theaters 3 times. I saw Rogue One. Like, a lot of times when like a comic book movie comes out or like Star Wars or something, I'll see it the Thursday night, like the first possible showing or whatever. So yeah, I saw Rogue One, 7 p.m. Thursday night, wearing an R2-D2 sweater. And I thought, like, I was nervous going to the theater. I was like, oh, everyone's going to think I'm so lame. And I walked in there, people were like in full-on costume. Like, there was cosplayers
I've never
there.
been to a film where cosplayers were there, and I've always been disappointed.
That was the only one.
Yeah.
No, actually Spider-Man. I didn't even go, like, the opening day, and, like, there was, like, people in There was, like, lots of people in Spider-Man costumes.
Maybe my city, my hometown, just isn't nerdy enough, because that never happens.
I lived in a suburb of Houston where people have money to do that. And there's enough people where, you know, there's gonna be some that show up.
Yeah, I gotta find those theaters that people dress up at, because I always feel like I want to dress up as someone someday.
So if you went to Comic-Con, who would you want to dress as?
I actually went to this thing called SuperCon in Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
But I dressed up as Josie, like from Riverdale.
I saw those pictures. What if you went to Comic-Con though?
If I went to Comic-Con,
where it's like
and I had unlimited,
go hard,
if I had unlimited money, like no one could stop me. I could get whatever costume I want. I would be Shuri.
Shuri
from Black Panther. I want to do her costume so bad.
Yeah, which costume?
I'd say in the Black Panther, like when she has like the blaster on her arm.
Oh
like
yeah.
I really like that costume.
I think I would go as Missandei from Game of Thrones.
Also another good option.
Even though I don't like showing my stomach, I feel like I'd do it for that.
I feel like that wouldn't be too hard of a costume.
Yeah.
Like I need bank to do shit.
Yeah. Also
and time.
My sister, I said, cause like our plan is to go to Comic-Con. I don't know when we get enough money. And she's like, she wants to be Gamora. And I was like,
another good option.
Yeah. I was like, but that's
gonna
be
green.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you have to be green.
You gotta
like
we gotta like that.
We gotta figure out how to even like do that.
When I went to SuperCon, there was someone who was Gamora and someone who was Drax, and I was like, that's commitment.
I had a Comic Palooza where I met Tom Holland. Someone dressed as Killmonger, and they had like little dots on them. Yeah.
Were they muscular like Michael B. Jordan?
They weren't as muscular. They were more muscular than the average guy, but they weren't.
Nice.
No, like
yeah.
Who else? We saw Star-Lord. He had a really good Star-Lord costume. Like he had the full like trench coat.
When I was at Raleigh SuperCon, someone was a Demogorgon from Stranger Things, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? That's like oh wow, sorry.
It is whatever. You can bleep it out or something.
That's a really intricate costume, and they were with like a hopper, but like I'll show you a picture later. But it was so cool.
I saw a Demogorgon, but it was just like spandex and like
they
had like he went hard.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So yeah, I've never done anything nerdy like have a cool costume. The most I dressed up, I said I was Josie before. I also dressed up as Michonne from The Walking Dead for one Halloween. That was pretty cool, but not very nerdy.
A katana or something?
Yeah, I did have a katana. I ordered The Walking Dead katana actually.
Cool. That's nice. I bought a shirt with Thanos on it just to be in the picture with Tom Holland. Because I had one Marvel shirt, and I was like, I didn't like the way it fit, and like I had to wear an undershirt under it, and it was just like, I was like,
why would you wear a Thanos shirt though?
look, it's your murderer, but it's his character's murderer. It was a cool shirt, like it's from the comics, and he's like has his fist. You've seen me in the shirt? Yeah, well, I wear it a lot, honestly. Because it was a nice shirt, and I didn't want to look fat.
I actually have a cute, like, Spider-Man comic crop top that I bought, like, a couple years ago. So if I ever met Tom Holland.
That's what you put on? You put on a crop top?
Hell yeah. Gotta show all the kids.
I see,
gotta
like,
try to court him somehow.
Like, I think about, like, the girls that show up there in, like, crop tops and short shorts, and I'm like, I wonder if this is, like, their daily look, or if they're like, I'm going to see Tom Holland, let me impress him for these few seconds.
Basically.
Yeah, I look so fat in my picture, you guys. I tried to get I got like a big shirt so he couldn't see like squishing, like I was like squishy and stuff. And I just looked fat because it like gapped at the back, like over my like butt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it looked like wide. I don't know, he might not have noticed. Like honestly, it was like a 2-second interaction. It was longer than 2 seconds, but like hopefully he didn't pay attention. Or hopefully he did.
You were like one of hundreds he took pictures with
Yeah.
that day.
He's probably like, he looked tired as a mess.
Aww.
When he was signing autographs.
Tom Holland's my future husband, by the way. Everyone remember that for when we're married. I said it here first.
I've met him though.
That means nothing.
So I'm closer. He has a book with my name in it.
Which is also my name.
It has my last name and my email address in it, so he could hit me up. At any day. Any day now.
Any day now, Tom Holland might hit you up, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna hook me up, because you're a great friend. Boom! You heard it here
No,
first.
actually you can have him, because remember I said he's cute,
Yeah.
kind of like a puppy.
Yeah.
He's never gonna hear this, so it's fine.
Yeah, I like cute like a puppy, guys. So if you're considered cute like a puppy, hit me up.
I don't feel like that's not a thing you say to their face, so they wouldn't know if they were considered cute like a puppy. That's like if a guy is really into you and like all your attempts of friends on him have gone just like he's just not taking it. You'd be like, look, I think you're cute like a puppy. Like I don't want to be with you. So, okay, you want to do nerd news?
Sure.
All right.
It's nerd news time.
Starting off.
Not a thing.
Starting off rough. James Gunn. You know, some what is he, like a alt-right person?
Is he?
Yeah, it was like a Trump supporter or something. Tried to. This is what happened. Like a Trump supporter person was trying to what do you call it? Like not slander because it's true. Like defame James Gunn because you know James Gunn is a liberal and he like hates Trump.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say James Gunn was alt-right, and I was like,
no, James Gunn is not alt-right.
No,
But
yeah,
so this conservative dude, he like dug up all these old tweets where he made some really disturbing,
controversial, disturbing,
like
jokes.
pedophilia jokes. And so then Disney fired him because it's Disney, like family, a family company. They're like, oops.
And he's making pedophilia jokes.
Yeah. Also, these jokes were from like 10 years ago, so it kind of sparked this debate. They were 10 years ago. People change, and then other people were like, "Geez, those jokes were horrible. I think he should be investigated." And anyways, like Disney, they said they're not going to rehire him. They had a meeting with him to be like, "Hey, you're still fired. I'm going to use your script though," which I'm glad about.
And the cast from the Guardians of the Galaxy actually wrote a note together, a letter, defending James Gunn.
They're like, he's a good person. Those jokes were in poor taste, but we want him as the director. Disney was like, nah.
Which,
negatory.
I mean, personally, I also would prefer if he directed it, but I do understand why he had to be fired. Because those tweets were really bad.
Yeah, here's my stance. So at first when I heard about the tweets and I looked them up, I was like, oof. I was like, those are bad, but they were 10 years ago. Also, he was 41 when those came out.
You see,
so I was,
it's
like,
a lot.
I was like,
to take
10 years ago, it's possible that he's changed, this is a universe that he's crafted, these guardian stories. They're like, he pours his blood, sweat, and tears into them. And they're like so, like he's so integral to their success, like in how well they've done. Just hire him back, you know. But then I saw like these pictures of him at a party, and the party was themed to Catch a Predator. And he dressed up like as a priest. And there's some other like grown men there just as like an Easter bunny or something. And there's some women and they like pigtails on and like little skirts. And I was like, that's creepy. I say fire him because I think he might actually be a pedophile.
Yeah. I also agree that he should stay fired.
Yeah, I also think he should kind of be investigated. I think just to make sure, you know, like, FBI should be like, hey James, we saw some stuff, a little questionable. And then, you know, if he is a pedophile, just join the list of men in Hollywood that have just been discovered to be horrible.
Yeah, but I also do think that this brings up a discussion about looking back on people's tweets from like over 10 years ago. For him, he was a grown adult when he tweeted those, so he doesn't get much of a like free pass.
Middle-aged adult.
Yeah.
Not like...
He doesn't get like that, I was 12 when I tweeted that or something.
Dang,
that
12.
A lot of, I know, all of us made Twitters before we were allowed to, but like...
Not me, still don't got a Twitter. I might make one. You continue.
Anyways, just like, looking back on people's tweets, it's like, as a society, I feel like we've grown like sensitive to jokes now, and not in a bad way. Like, we've recognized that certain things that we say are no longer okay, but I don't think we should go back and like critique what people have said necessarily, because at that time society didn't really care what people were saying. Like, as a society, we've just grown sensitive to a lot of things,
especially when the guy that's trying to defame the other person is a Trump supporter Nazi.
Speaking of Trump supporter Nazis.
Wait, we're gonna do that? We're gonna do more nerd news?
Yeah. No, that's not nerd news. This is real life news.
Okay.
On our very
She's messing
own...
up the order. It's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright.
Good transition. On our very own campus of UNC Chapel Hill.
Tar.
Heels.
Okay.
Yeah, students... Not students.
No,
protesters.
Yes, might have been students.
Could have been students. They were mass protesters, so they wouldn't get in trouble. Tore down this statue called Silent Sam, which was put up in like the
early 1900s.
As a
memorial
to the Confederate soldiers who fought in the Civil War.
Yeah, was it for specifically like UNC Confederate soldiers?
UNC students
that were Confederate.
Might have been soldiers who fought in the war. And
so it's been like a point of contention on campus. Like, some people are like, you know, we gotta preserve history or whatever.
And others are like, that statue represents racism, because at the ceremony when the statue was put up, there was a man who had a speech who literally was like rejoicing at the fact that he whipped a black woman for like getting an attitude with a white woman, and it was just like at the ceremony of the
putting up the statue, erection of the statue,
racism was already like on the table.
Also, the Confederacy was structured around, okay, people were like, oh, like they were fighting for states' rights. They were fighting for their right to like keep their society in place, and their society was
revolved around slavery.
Yeah, their society was, how do you say it? Like, slavery was integral to it. Like, after the Civil War, the South was just completely like fucked because they didn't have slavery. It was like, that's just how much they relied on. So that sparked a alt-right protest a few days later on campus, in which a lot of people carrying Confederate flags were on campus, a lot of races. One person said black people don't need a platform to speak. Another person said black people should look at the statue and be proud of how far they've come.
Yeah. a student actually got punched in the face by
Shout out to that kid. If you ever listen to this, like, okay.
We appreciate you.
Because he got punched in the face and act like nothing happened.
Didn't even flinch. Like,
yeah,
he took it like a man.
Snaps
so,
to you. I can't
if you hear this, I don't know your name. I feel like someone on Twitter said his name was Dylan. So if it
blonde
was Dylan,
kid that got punched in the face by an old man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For standing up for us when we were afraid to leave our dorms, which is another issue that Silent Sam presented for students of color, was that it did spark fear when, like...
Yeah. Like, when I passed it, like, this might sound corny, but when I passed it, I would get, like, cold. Like, this feeling in, like, my, like, chest. It was like, ugh. Because I was like, ugh.
And it's just nice to see that we have people on this campus who do care about our feelings regarding that statue, because I know a lot of us do feel some type of way about it.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to the students who do protest for our rights to not have to look at that statue every day that goes against us as people.
Yeah. That one is nerdy. Those are just like, also this is happening. Those are pop culture.
Alright.
You said nerd and pop culture.
You'll know what we're talking about when we get to it. So, First
movie up is Venom. I think it looks like it's gonna be really bad. Do you know about this one? Like, do you know about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're trying to make a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it. Smart.
And that just... What?
Also... Okay, so I saw the teaser trailer for this, and I was like, that looks bad. Like, you couldn't tell what the movie was about. It was just Tom Hardy running around, and he didn't, like, Venom didn't show up, and it was like, what the hell? And then the second trailer came out, and I was like, that looks good. You saw, like, Venom, his, like, interaction. Yeah, you saw his tongue, and you saw him with weird Venom, and you saw, like, the conflict between, what's his name? Eddie Brock? Between Eddie Brock and then the symbiote. And I was like, okay, this might be good. Like, he's trying to sort of take this parasite that has really violent tendencies and kind of rein him in so they can do some good stuff, but it also might be some real violent stuff. You know, third trailer comes out, looks trash. He says Venom, like, talks for a long time, and I'm like, I don't like that. Like, he might talk in the comics, I don't know, but it seemed weird having him talk, and he was like, I'll rip your face off, and then your arms off, and then you'll be going down the street like a turd in the wind. I'm like, why would he say that? Like, that's not, like, why like a turd and why like wind? Why like...
Yeah, I think the main thing is just that we don't like that they're making a Spider-Man universe.
No, I don't like Spider-Man. I don't like that they're making a bad movie. Like, tonally, like, what's going on with that? Like, if you're gonna do something, do it right. Don't do it just because, oh, like, comic book movies are blowing up right now, and maybe eventually down the line we can fold this into the MCU, which you can't. Kevin Feige would never allow that. He's not going to be like, oh, look at this universe I've crafted meticulously. Throw in your trash Venom. So, yeah, I think it looks like it's going to be bad. Sorry, Tom Hardy. And sucks that they're wasting a good Venom design. Next is Wonder Woman 1984.
Which I am excited about because Wonder Woman was one of my favorite superhero movies. It is by far the best of the DC movies.
It's by far the best DC movie. By, like, DCEU. Like, not counting Batman, Christian Bale, that one. So, yeah. So, I like that it's not called Wonder Woman 2 or Wonder Woman : some other stuff. I like that it's called Wonder Woman 1984. I like the setting. But... Ooh,
I actually got to see part of the set when I went on a trip to DC, which it is being filmed. So I can say that the set is going to look really cool and the costumes are also really cute.
What did you see? Like, what kind of stuff?
They had a street blocked off and it had just like old 80s cars, which are like by far the coolest cars in history. And then there was a lot of extras walking around in like 80s clothing, which is also pretty cool fashion. So yeah, it's cool to see like you're driving around modern day DC and then just like one street is blocked off that looks like the 80s. It was so cool.
That's really cool.
And I'm excited to see it actually on film.
Okay, here's my thing. I think this will be as good as the first Wonder Woman, But I did not really like the first Wonder Woman, and I know that seems like blasphemy. I just thought it like wasn't well executed in a lot of places. And it's like, so what happens? How does it start? I like the beginning part. Like when they're on the island. Yeah, I like all that stuff. And then like she leaves the island and the movie just goes downhill for me. Like they get to London and it looks like garbage. Like CGI, I'm like, where you at? Like y'all can do better. Like I know that shouldn't be like a huge thing, but like it really took me out of the movie and I was like, can y'all do something about that? And then like she didn't know what anything was. But it was like, you do know what things are. Because you just spouted a bunch of like wisdom on the boat earlier. Also, y'all should probably send out like someone should, like, they can't just stay in the bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. Like, they shouldn't do that. They should go out.
Maybe that's going to be part of Wonder Woman 1984.
Maybe. Because, like, what's another city that's closed off? Wakanda? Mm-hmm. It's like people go out and they leave Wakanda. So they know what's going on. They just don't mess with it. Mm-hmm. Don't care. So, yeah, also I didn't like the ending where it was like a twist and like, oh, that guy's Ares. He did not look... I was like, why was that necessary for one?
Yeah, I hate when movies try to pull the shock factor card.
I was like, unnecessary. Also, that guy's mustache bothered me.
Yes.
I was like, why? Oh, also like the like band of stereotypes she had. She like went when like they were collecting like people to help her on her mission or whatever to defeat Dr. Poison. It's like there was like a Scottish guy who had PTSD, but he wore like a kilt, didn't he? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why aren't you in your freaking uniform, idiot? And there was like a Native American guy, and wasn't he pretty much like
wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I was like, I don't like this. Also, like, yeah. I feel like the only like natural relationship she had was with her aunt who died in the beginning, and then with Trevor.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve, Trevor. Yeah. But then they were like they're in love, and it's been a day.
Yeah.
I was like, yeet, stop it.
I also didn't appreciate how he died.
Yeah, it was totally unnecessary. That was unnecessary. Like I'm like, are y'all both stupid? Because first of all, she's indestructible.
Right.
So what did he need to blow up again?
The plane, because
what was in it though?
Was it like bombs heading somewhere? I believe it was like nuclear bombs.
He could have jumped out the plane.
Why does every movie have planes with nuclear bombs heading towards a city?
Mission Impossible, except for that, not really, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, So he could have either went up in the plane, got a parachute, I don't know, shot it from the sky. I'm kidding. He couldn't have done that. He might have done that actually. There's a lot of.
He didn't have to sit in the pilot seat.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that. Also, Wonder Woman could have done it. Probably sat in the chair, fell to the ground, and been fine. Since she's indestructible. Like.
Also, why is Chris Pine in Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, how's that gun? Did he not blow up?
Also,
because he blew up.
Yeah, because why would they show pictures of him, like promotional pictures of him, if they wanted it to be like, oh look, surprise, he didn't actually die, but also like,
I mean, I guess it makes you curious, like, why is he back? Because I want to know. Because I'll watch this movie.
Yeah, either way I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I see him, or just see
they'll explain it. Hopefully. They might not. Batman vs. Superman, they don't explain Jack. Okay, I'm gonna stop hating on the DCEU. I like the concept of Wonder Woman. Like, I like a lot of DC concepts. Like, Batman, like, it's cool, like, he's this guy, he's kind of effed up because he saw his parents get murdered, so he skulks around at night.
Tony Stark type stuff.
Tony didn't see his parents get murdered. Bruce Wayne saw them get murdered, and so he's like...
Oh yeah, Tony didn't know how his parents until Civil War.
Batman's, like, completely effed in the head.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, and he's... Like, he's supposed to be like the best detective in the world. Just skulks around with his billions of dollars. That's why he can do all that. That's why he's like a Batmobile and stuff, because he's a billionaire and a genius.
I saw a Batmobile in person. It was really cool.
Was it on your Snapchat today?
No.
Oh.
No, that wasn't a Batmobile. That was at SuperCon. I saw one at SuperCon.
Oh, I saw at the movie theater I worked in. when Suicide Squad came out, this guy, he came in his Batmobile and his Batman costume, saw Suicide Squad. Then when The Killing Joke was playing in theaters, he came again, Batman suit, Batmobile.
That's dedication.
Yeah. I saw one good Batman cartoon movie. It was Under the Red Hood. You should watch it. It's animated and it's PG-13. It's like really good. And I was shook. I was like, why is this so good? But
on to other DC movies. Aquaman is also coming out.
looks bad. I'm sorry. Looks real crap. Like the underwater, like I know a lot of us take place underwater, but I just don't like the way it looks. Like it looks weird and like fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like how would you do an underwater movie that didn't have weird fake looking CGI? What's like a live action movie that takes place underwater? None of them.
The Mermaid.
Live action?
Oh, live action. They're making a live action Little Mermaid. Wow. No. Random Hamilton soundtrack playing. Sorry.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It just looks weird. Like you know it's fake and I can't get over it because, I don't know. But like I don't know how to fix that problem. I don't know how I would film something underwater.
I mean, I don't think there's really a way to make it
Look better.
because there's no such. There aren't any underground like worlds.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks.
Underwater now.
Also, Amber Heard wig looks really bad.
Yeah, I didn't really like it in the trailer.
Looks really bad. Like it's not like, oh, that's a wig. Like that's okay. Like it's kind of okay. Like when you see a movie and you're like, oh, that's a wig.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like a bad wig. Like it didn't look like hair texture.
Yeah, but Jason Momoa looked hot. So
Jason Momoa looked great.
maybe his looks will carry the movie.
I don't mind him as Aquaman. The thing about like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I don't mind her as Wonder Woman. I like her as Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind him as Aquaman so far. I mind everything that's happening around them.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah. Also, there's a line where, so she jumps out of a plane, and then the pilot's like, "Does she have a parachute?" And Jason Momoa's like, "No, redheads, gotta love him." Then he jumps out the plane, and I'm like, "Don't y'all have ocean towers? How are you gonna react to hitting the desert ground from a plane? Like, aren't y'all both gonna die? Like, can't call a shark from 1,000 miles away and be like, hey, catch me." So, and he said, "Hit redheads, gotta love him." Like, what?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing. It's like this meme I saw, and it's like, there was this brown haired girl in jeans, and they're like, who said brunettes can't wear jeans?
No one.
Yeah, it's like, that's how I felt listening to that line.
The only redhead we like over here is Wendy from Wendy's.
Or Ariel.
Or Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
I like Cheryl, too, from Riverdale.
Or Cheryl from Riverdale.
There's a lot of, or Donald Gleason.
Stop!
One of my favorite actors.
Or Ron from Harry Potter. Or the whole Weasley family, actually.
Donald Gleason's a great actor, and you should watch everything he's in. I'm kidding, I haven't seen everything he's in. He's in Peter Rabbit. You don't gotta see that. But you should watch Anna Karenina, Ex Machina.
Okay.
He's Bill Weasley, so watch Harry Potter.
I've seen it.
What else is he in? Oh, Brooklyn. He's in this movie called Brooklyn. That makes me want to cry the entire time. But in a good way. Sometimes. He's really good. He's in a lot of good stuff.
Okay, so I know we've been hating on DC movies a lot, but we're actually pretty excited for this next one.
Shazam! Shazam!
Yeah, we're very excited for Shazam.
This one looks authentically good, like naturally, like the story seems good, and not like you have to force all this weird stuff in it to make people want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Batman vs. Superman.
It's also very lighthearted, which
Yeah.
is like very good in comparison to all the other DC
and it's like it's
movies.
like naturally lighthearted. Like it's about a kid sort of, you know, using these powers and
for good.
yeah. So it's like it's gonna be sort of uplifting and happy.
Whereas other movies have somber tones to them.
Yeah. Oh no, it's horrible. Oh no, Superman's dead.
Oh no. My man's that I just fell in love with in a day.
Blew up.
Blew up in a plane.
But now he's back in the 80s. Oh no. And then he dies again?
Anyway, Shazam!
Is he gonna die again though? Steve Trevor. Because he's not.
How am I supposed to know?
He's not in Justice League. Like, she doesn't say anything about him.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Let's not talk about that movie though.
Skip. Yeah, Shazam looks good. The kid that plays young Billy Batson, he's in a Disney show called Andy Mack.
Which I really like. It's like the only Disney show that is good still.
Yeah, it looks good. Like, I turned it, but here's the thing, I won't watch it because I turned it on once, and then the worst thing ever happened, and I wanted to cry. So, like, the main girl, Andy Mack, she, like, came over a hill, right, like, in a park, and then she saw the guy she liked, and, like, some other girl, and the girl, like, drawing hearts on his arm in Sharpie.
His girlfriend, his actual girlfriend.
Gosh. I was, like, devastated for her. I was like, this show is rough.
You have to watch out. I mean, I think the hardest part about the show is that she finds out her sister is her fucking mom.
Yeah, that too. Like, I looked at the premise after I saw that. I was like, oh, and I was like, wow.
It's actually a really good show, though. I usually watch it when I'm going to bed because it comes on really late on Disney Channel, and I fall asleep to it.
It's for the older kids, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little heavy for a Disney
Yeah, like,
show.
it's heavy. Like, that was heavy. I mean, like
they're dealing with teenage pregnancy on the show.
What?
Yeah, her sister had her as a teenager.
Oh, I thought she meant like another teenage pregnancy.
No. I mean, but like basically her sister was pregnant as a teenager, and that's why.
There's a gay kid in it.
Yeah, one of her best friends is gay.
She was like, I remember that scene.
He also had a crush on the guy that Andy liked.
That's a cute kid, though. The guy that Andy likes. It's Billy Batson, isn't it?
What's his name? Asher?
Isn't it Billy Batson? Isn't it the guy from Shazam, though?
No, the little boy's name is Asher.
Who are we talking about?
Who plays the cute kid? Who's the cute kid? His name's Asher or something like that. Who plays young Billy?
Oh, that's his real name?
Yeah. It's Asher something. Asher Angel.
Yeah.
He can sing too.
He can?
Yeah. God blessed him. He was like, we're gonna make you beautiful with nice eyes and
look at his little cheek.
Talented.
Look at his little cheek dimple.
And he has dimples.
How cute.
He is gonna be trouble when he grows up.
So cute.
He's already trouble on the show.
Also, he looks like he'll be a good Billy Batson. Like, I felt a connection to him. You know, like, I empathized with him.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he showed up in the trailer and he was like, kind of, you know, making fun of his situation. He wasn't making fun of his situation, like, he was coping by making jokes.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I get it, kid. I get it. So, yeah, Shazam looks good. What else do we need to say about it? Oh, I like the concept a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me look it up real quick so I don't mess it up. So Shazam actually stands for something. And then, like, when he says Shazam, like, he gets all the powers.
Why did Captain Marvel come up?
Because he's Captain Marvel. It's really confusing. It's really confusing. We can do a whole history about all the different Captain Marvels and why he's now Shazam.
Captain Marvel in MCU and DC?
It's a different Captain Marvel.
I know, but, like, how did they work that out where they both can use
Because now he's Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Shazam stands for... Good lord. Okay, so the S is wisdom of Solomon, H is the strength of Hercules, A is the stamina of Atlas, including his invulnerability, because yeah, Atlas is out in space, isn't he? Z, power of Zeus, including his ability to summon thunderbolts, A, courage of Achilles, M, speed of Mercury, including flight. Mercury's Hermes, by the way. Messenger god. So I'm like that's cool, you know, like in concept, like, oh, say this little acronym and then you get all these powers.
You get the power of all the gods.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's lit.
That's really cool.
Whoever came up with that,
Also,
good on you.
Hercules is another underrated Disney
Hercules
movie.
is so good.
Yeah, it's very underrated, I believe.
Yeah.
One of the best Disney soundtracks also. Like, the muses went off.
They really did. They really did, didn't they? Okay. So
we'll talk more about those later.
Shazam, yeah, looks pretty good.
Now we're gonna talk
hold
about...
on. What do you think about grown-up Shazam? Like, when he turns into Shazam?
I think it's funny because, like, it's like a kid in a grown man's
Oh,
body.
yeah.
So he's still like acting like a kid, but it's like you don't look like a kid.
Yeah, it's sort of like big.
Yeah. I think it's pretty funny.
What do you think about the suit? I like that it looks ridiculous.
Also, that, yeah, it adds to the lighthearted humor of it.
I think it's padding in that suit, because he looked real big. Like, he looked bigger than he should be. So.
And it's cool to see, like, how he still was, like, has that good bond with his...
With Jack Dylan Grazer from It. He was my favorite character in It. Because he had an inhaler and a fanny pack, just like me. Hey!
Why are we the same?
We have too much in common. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home.
Back to Bay.
Okay.
I'm excited for Spider-Man Far From Home. And I like that it's going to be in London because I appreciate London as a city. But Cameron has a different opinion, so let's hear it.
Okay, now look, here's the thing. I really like MCU Spider-Man. I think he's great. I love Tom Holland. I liked Homecoming a lot. But I think it's corny that it went Homecoming and then it went Far From Home. I just think that's too much cheese for me. And then I think that New York is like integral to Spider-Man's sort of mission and his aesthetic to me, because he's like, oh, I'm just gonna like help out around
Friendly
New York.
neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'll help around New York, and then occasionally there's like a big old bad guy that comes to New York, because why not? It's a big city. There's lots of people.
London is also a big city.
But it's London.
Everything always happens in New York in all these movies, though, so I think it's nice how they're switching it up a little bit. Like, New York isn't the only city that's gonna be attacked
What happened in New York? Avengers 1, that's it.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Home, but it happened in a different part of New York.
Infinity War, part of it was in New York.
Part of it, yeah. Doctor Strange. No, they're like all over the place. They're looking weird.
Doctor Strange was everywhere, but also in New York.
Okay.
Iron Man. One of the Iron Mans was in New York. Yes, it was.
Iron Man 1, he's like in Malibu, and then he like flies over to like the Middle East and shoots everyone in the head, which was awesome.
Iron Man 2 then.
I don't remember Iron Man 2 that much, but I don't think it was in New York. Like, really don't think it was. I could be wrong. Anyway. I just think Spider-Man and New York, they go together, and I feel like it's gonna...
I don't know the difference between Iron Man 2 and 3 right now.
3 is with, the, like, lava people. And all of the suits. Like the automated suits.
Wasn't that that last scene was in DC.
From what?
Iron Man 3. Anyways, I feel like a lot of movies attacks on New York. That's what most movies are. So I think it's cool to see them happen elsewhere.
But there's also a lot of movies that hop around the globe, aka Mission Impossible.
And Mission Impossible is one of the best movies, so...
Which Mission Impossible?
All of them. I just recently saw the most recent one, and
I liked it.
I thought it was... The end was kind of drawn out.
The end was too much.
But the movie was good.
I liked when Henry Cavill hit that guy in the face, because it looked so real.
And Henry Cavill was hard to hate.
Have you seen his thirst tweet video?
I loved it. I was like, did I write those?
God,
I don't actually tweet thirst tweets. I just think them.
He hit that guy in the face so hard. That was a great sequence. That was a great fight sequence.
Fights. Mission Impossible has like some of the best fight scenes.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And what were we talking about? Oh yeah,
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, from what I've gathered of the set photos and like what Tom posts on his Instagram, so they filmed in London, where he's from. So I'm like, is he gonna use his British accent? Because that'll throw me off.
They better not wait.
If Peter Parker.
Okay, but also we were also wondering where this is in time with Infinity War.
Because it could be in between Spider-Man Homecoming and Infinity War, so he's...
Or right after Infinity War.
Yeah, so if it's right after, is he like, oh man, I was dead? Or is no one gonna remember that they died?
What if Spider-Man comes back after Infinity War as a British kid?
What? Get out. Stop.
I'm kidding, they would never do that.
Okay, but so it looks like he's gonna go on an international field trip, because there's some of it in London, and then like on his set picture thing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna assume it's like their little Decathlon team is
Yeah, I
probably going to
guess.
be in a competition.
Because there's a part
abroad.
in the background is like Venice, and they're on a bridge, and it's supposed to be Venice, and then his stunt double gets like splashed with a bunch of water.
I saw that video.
Yeah. So international field trip, and then he, I guess comes back. Maybe he comes back at the end of the movie. But I'm like,
excited to see Zendaya have more lines.
Yes.
Hopefully in this movie.
kiss on the mouth. Have you seen that meme? It's not a meme. It's like a little video, and it was like kiss on the mouth. It's like Nick Kroll. He's like pointing a gun at these people, and he's like kiss on the mouth. That's how I feel about like Tom and Zendaya in this movie. Yeah. Hopefully Zendaya.
I feel like Zendaya friend zones Tom so hard.
Yeah, IRL, but in the movies they're supposed to get together because at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, she was throwing him all types of looks. Also, Marvel played too many games with that. They're like, she's not Mary Jane.
But she's MJ.
Yeah, and then she's like, call me MJ, and then like throws Google eyes at Peter. I'm like, so she's MJ, the love interest, so whatever. Also, he had 2 black love interests.
Right? I said, does Tom Holland share that?
In real life?
Yeah.
I feel like...
I hope so, because if not, I definitely don't have a chance. But
he does.
We're going to be positive over here and believe that Tom Holland
likes ethnics.
likes
yeah, I think this movie will turn out fine. Like, I think it'll be good. I would just prefer it to be in New York. I hope it's not too globe hoppy weirdness, you know? Because I feel like, first of all, I feel like the Peter Parker that we know can't handle that. Because he couldn't handle New York, honestly. So, like...
Yeah.
Also, he shouldn't be able to do a British accent. If he does one, I hope it's, like, bad.
Right?
Because he's supposed to be, like, a dork, and you can't just make him do all these...
A perfect accent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I want to... I need it to come out right now. I need Infinity War Part 2 to come out right now.
Yeah, I do. Like, honestly, I'm tired of waiting.
I have so many questions, especially
I'm
after
over it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. That end
So
credit
over it.
scene ruined my life. Like, I left that movie pissed.
Me too. Like, it was like a fun time. It was a nice fun time, and then they're like, psych, bitches. He's stuck in the quantum realm. Everyone is dust. And then, no, even the end credit scene, I was like, was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah, because
it
the
made me-
ant drumming, I was like...
It was creepy. Because, you know, like, you saw the, like, thing on the TV where it's like, and it was like, this is not a drill or something. I'm like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, also, there's some, like, ramifications in Infinity War that aren't Disney friendly. So, they're like pregnant women. Like, what?
Is that not Disney friendly?
Like, their baby. What if their baby's like,
they didn't tackle that though, so let's not think about it.
I said there's ramifications that aren't Disney friendly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have happened after Thanos snapped. That was like...
Yeah.
Like, people could have been driving and
There were people driving.
I'm saying, like, they could have caused, like, some accidents that killed people that
there
didn't disappear.
Could be a lot of fires.
A lot of fires. Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry, that just made me think of the end of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Did you see it?
Yeah, what about it?
When they let all the dinosaurs loose.
That's not even that big a deal, honestly, because Blue's out there in, like, New Mexico or something. She's just gonna get shot in the head immediately. They're gonna be like, oh, what the fuck is that? The birds, just catch them all. I'm sure they have, like, tracking numbers. There's some way they can track them.
I just thought, I hated Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I really hated it.
It wasn't good at all.
I was so mad because I love Jurassic World.
Jurassic World was. Yeah, I like that one. It was a lot of fun. This one was not fun. And
This one didn't have a story.
Yeah, and there was like a weird clone girl in it, and I was like, why do I...
That girl looked like a young version of Haley Steinfeld as well.
I kind of thought she looked like Jennifer Connelly. That's her name, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I thought she looked really a lot like Haley Steinfeld.
Let's see, young. I thought she kind of looked like this.
Nah, she looks more like Haley Steinfeld.
Okay, what is her name anyway?
Oh, she's married to Paul Bettany.
Yeah, she's the voice of Friday. No, Paul Bettany was Jarvis. She's Friday, so
that's cute.
Yep. So yeah, so I thought about Spider-Man, it'll probably be fine. Okay, you want to talk about...
His movies we don't think are gonna be great. Mulan live action.
This is less nerdy. This is more just like, if you like Disney, if you're around our age,
and you still keep up with Disney.
Yeah.
Which is
here's
kind of nerdy.
Here's some bad news. They're making no Shang in live action Mulan, which I feel like a lot of people already know, but you didn't know until yesterday. But yeah, so Mulan is getting a new love interest. Also, there's no songs in this, so the best Disney song is just gonna remain in cartoon form. It's alright. But yeah, so she's getting a new love interest, and his name is...
Don't try to pronounce that.
Chin. I got the first part. Chin Hongli.
Maybe.
He's gonna be played by a New Zealand actor, Yosan An. I don't know. But,
I'm not happy about it. I'm happy that they're casting, like, Chinese actors.
Why would they? But, like, honestly, how would they not cast Chinese actors?
Well, for a while, people were joking, like, oh, Scarlett Johansson's gonna be in Mulan.
Because she did Ghost in the Shell. LOL.
So, I'm glad that they actually got representation in the film.
Okay, here's a description of his character from The Hollywood Reporter. A confident and ambitious recruit who joins Commander Tung's unit, he becomes Mulan's most important ally and eventual love interest. Just put Shang in the fucking movie! What are you doing? Also, Shang had an arc, so it's like...
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like,
This is just like, he's her friend in the ranks, and they fall in love.
Yeah, no, I liked it when he was like, I'm gonna be super hard on you guys, because, like, this is about my honor, and, like, I gotta continue my father's legacy, do-do-do-do. And then he kind of, like, I don't know, like, then his dad dies, and he's like, dang. And then he, I don't know, then he, like, softens to Mulan, and, like, you see some of his humanity. It's a whole thing. I like it. Also, Shang, cute for an animated boy. And he had the best song. Like, the best Disney song. No, not the best.
One of the
top
5. Maybe.
Top 5. Have you heard of the Lion King 2 soundtrack? Bro, it's so good. Well, at least 2 songs on it are really good. And you think, it's like they worked as hard on the soundtrack as they did in 1, but not as hard on the story. So...
I can't remember Lion King 2. I know it exists and I know I've seen it, but I don't remember.
I used to watch it a bunch, but I don't remember the what's it called?
Like, I know it's Simba has a daughter.
Yeah, Simba's a daughter. And she gets a dark lion.
Scar has a...
It's not his kid. I don't remember. I don't know why they're brown, though. I don't know why they're...
Dark skins versus light skins.
Because I think Disney was like, hey, we might have done some weird race stuff in the first Lion King and make him Scar like a dark lion, and then all the hyenas are also brown. So, like, maybe let's go...
Hyenas are gray.
Huh?
Hyenas are gray.
They're brown, aren't they?
They look gray to me.
Scar's definitely brown, though.
Yeah, Scar's definitely brown.
And they're like, okay, let's, like, undo some of that race stuff and make her date this brown lion. And I'm like, y'all need to just chill out. Just let it go.
But he was still part of the bad...
Yeah, but then at the end, he's not. Then Simba's like, that was messed up. Well, whatever. So, what were we gonna talk about? Oh, Kim Possible live action. First of all, I think Kim Possible
should stay a cartoon.
Yeah, I think, like, the concept is super cool. She's, like, this teenager. She's a cheerleader. She's, like, I'm your basic average girl.
And she's smart.
She's here to save the world. Like, she's cool. And then, oh, she's not just a high schooler. She's a spy. And she, like, can kick ass and jump out of helicopters and is... Like, I don't know. She's super cool to me.
She can kick adults' butts.
Yeah, she's super cool, and
But, like, I don't want to see an actual 15-year-old fighting adults.
Also, Disney doesn't have the budget to do the scale of Kim Possible. Because there was, like, giant, like, evil layers with all sorts of science equipment in there.
Mm-hmm.
She would parachute out of places. She had like a grappling hook, and she would swing around and stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I just have to see what they're doing. But like, I'm not excited about it or anything.
Oh man, I don't even know if I could watch it. I don't think
You know they redid Freaky Friday? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
I saw the trailer and I was not interested at all.
I didn't want to watch it, but I was thinking, I was like, why do that? But then I was like, you might have to. Because like every like 10 years, like the differences between like parents and kids, like it changes drastically. Like we don't have the same teenage lives as Lindsay Lohan did back in whatever, the early 2000s. And she didn't have the same teenage life as the original version. So
did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. I'm just saying, like, that movie makes sense to get a reboot.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But it might be broke because teenagers don't.
If it ain't broke.
Okay.
It didn't look good to me.
Hey, my notes for Kim Possible live action, or bitch, what the fuck. Alright, that's it for this episode. Make sure to hit us up next time. You can follow me at writer Cameryn G on Instagram, and that's WriterCameryn on Instagram. You can follow. Oh, I wrote a book. I wrote a book called Episodes, a collection of science fiction stories. It might be trash, but you can check it out on Facebook. The page for the book is just the title of the book, so Episodes, a collection of science fiction stories, and you can find it on Amazon, and you can also purchase it on Kindle, because like Amazon is connected to Kindle or something, right? Yeah. You can also email me with questions or comments or topic suggestions at CamerynGoodm@gmail.com, and that's CamerynGoodm@gmail.com. And my YouTube channel is just Cameron Goodman. And you can also probably find this podcast on SoundCloud once I figure that out. And thebridge.com. Right, now it's time for Cammie's handles.
You can follow me on Instagram at It's Cammie G. That's ITSCAMMIEG. You can also follow me on YouTube at the same name. I have a couple videos up. I thought I was going to upload more this year, but I didn't. But you should still support me. I'm not cool, and I didn't write a book, though, so sorry. I don't have anything like that. Anyways, thanks for listening to our podcast. We'll see you all in the next podcast.
You said podcast twice in a sentence. Sorry if this one was trash. It's our first one. We will get better with time. We promise. Bye.